Hey, what goes on, guys? We're back here again with another review, and today we're going to be taking a look at two brand new DC Multiverse figures. We're going to be taking a look at the DC Multiverse, the animated series Flash, and the DC Multiverse Rebirth Superman. Now, this was probably the easiest hunt I've ever had in my life. I saw somebody in the local area post that they were hanging on this new end cap for Christmas or whatever. I was like, you know what? Let me start writing this essay and go check it out. Went to one Target that was 10 minutes away. Boom, they were just sitting there. It has never been that easy and probably will never be that easy again. But nonetheless, I'm incredibly happy to have these. This and this are both going to be probably used for custom fodder and a lot of swapping and stuff, which I'll talk about more as the video goes on. He is not staying the Flash. He will stay Superman, but some parts might be switched between this one and the Action Comics 1000 Superman, but he's not staying as the Flash. But I thought before I tear him apart and make them something brand new, I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys the figure itself. But taking a look at the packaging, it's pretty standard for the line. On the side, it says Superman DC Rebirth, and then on the side, it says the Flash Superman, the animated series. So it's not from the Justice League. I mean, they look pretty similar, except he's supposed to have like a black ring around the Flash logo, which I'll talk about that a little bit more later on. Then on the backs here, you can see the awesome action figure photography here. That looks really good. You can see the figures. Seems that they have different figures shown on the back, but I have pretty much... Actually, I don't really have any of these. I only have Articulation, Dr. Fate, the Chase one, and that's it. But that's the only ones I'm interested in, so that's fine by me. Superman, the Flash. On the tops, you get the windows. On the bottoms, here is Superman's barcode, and here is the Flash's. So if you need those and you're looking for them, check your Targets now. But without further ado, let's go ahead and pop these guys open and see what's going on. So taking these two out of the packaging, I gotta say, for what they are, they're pretty cool. They're a little, the Flash is a little finicky. He kind of pops off a little bit more than I think he should, but honestly, it's not that big a deal. And Superman is actually a lot cooler than I thought, besides one glaring issue, which Mcfarlane got absolutely destroyed for the second they posted the initial picture of him. So you could probably guess what that is. But going in and taking a closer look at, I guess we'll do the Flash first. Taking a look at Flash here, he looks really good. Now, I'm not like super familiar with the Superman animated series. I haven't watched the whole thing. I've seen a couple episodes here and there when it used to air on TV, but for the most part, I haven't really watched the whole show. I didn't sit there and watch the whole show, but I feel like I remember when they introduced the Flash, didn't they have like a race for charity or something like that? I don't know, around the world or something. I could be completely wrong and speaking out of my butt, but I'm pretty sure that that's when the Flash was introduced. But taking a look at that head sculpt there, looks good for an animated series figure. I think it's probably the best animated series figure he's done so far. The body looks good, very, pretty seamless, all things considered. I think, that style is kind of hard to nail. He's done Superman, Batman, and Green Lantern, and now the Flash up at this point. All the bolts are sculpted, which is going to be annoying for what I want to do with this character or with this figure, but the Flash logo is also sculpted, and it's like an embedded piece in there. So, but the thing that is a little irksome, or I guess not irksome, but like incorrect, is that should be a black line around the Flash logo. The circle should, not yellow, or there should be a black trim around it, if I remember correctly. But it's, again, not that big a deal to me. I don't really care. The belt, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, is sculpted. So like the lightning bolt that goes around his body, that's all sculpted. Then you go down to the legs that are separate pieces, which also works good for what I want to do. So yeah, he looks pretty cool. I mean, there's not much to talk about. Barely any paint, barely any sculpt. Just looks clean for an animated series figure. So let's go ahead and look at Superman here. So Superman, it's the same head sculpt we've seen before. My head pops off like really easy. Like I don't know why. Like it just doesn't stay on, but it's the same head that we had before, and I absolutely love this Superman head. It's really, really nice. It's the best Superman head I've ever seen on an action figure. I freaking love it. It's probably the best head sculpt I've seen in a long time. And he actually put a little bit of blue in the top of the hair for that comic book shading effect, so I really like that. You get the S that is crimson red, and it just, oh man, it's gorgeous. You do get a smaller cape with this guy compared to the Action Comics 1000 Superman, which I'm going to do a big comparison of the Rebirth Flash with this, and the Action Comics 1000 Superman with this Superman. So, and then mostly just blue. You get that Bizarro body mold, which is totally fine by me. It's a really, really good body mold. Very buff Superman looking character. Like, I really liked it. That Bizarro was a really good figure, and so was the Infected Superman too. I was a big fan of both of those. Obviously I got them before I had the channel, but I would have liked to do reviews on them. They're good figures. Now, going down here is where we have the issues. This is lazy as hell. It's really lazy. He definitely should have sculpted at least just a new shin, because the fact that he just painted over the pre-existing lines is really bad, and everybody was like really pissed off about that when he was when he first showed this figure off, which sucks on his end. But you know what, I feel like he kind of had it coming at that point. So what are you gonna do? And then the boots are just blue because, like I said, this is the Rebirth version. So there is a new sculpted belt. I don't remember, or pelvis piece. I don't remember if Bizarro. I think actually this is Bizarro's. I could be wrong. I don't have Bizarro here with me to compare, but it might be Bizarro's. Now I think about it, I think it is. But let me know if that might be new. But other than that, I don't think there's anything new sculpted on this, except maybe this, and I think the cape is new too. The cape might be reused from something else, but I don't think. Actually, it might be the Red Sun Superman cape. Let me know if you guys know. Let me know, because it's not that big a deal to me at all. If it works, it works, and if it's this hard to tell if it's reused, then it's not that bad, or not bad at all. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and look at their accessories, because they both come with some things, but I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. So, taking a look at their accessories here, starting off with Superman, since he barely comes with anything, he just comes with the flight stand and the trading card. The trading card is the same image that was on the back of the box. So, like that action figure photography, this is the initial picture that he posted, and the boots looked like that. They actually look worse in the picture than they do in person, but yeah, he got flamed for that. And he also comes with the flight stand, which I actually do like these flight stands. I think they work pretty good. You can clamp them on the leg or the pelvis, like the waist, and it actually holds them up pretty good. So I'm actually a pretty big fan of these flight stands. They work pretty good for what they're supposed to do. So definitely don't mind getting another one of those. I usually don't take stuff out of the box, like the cards and stuff, but I'm not keeping either of these minty out of the box. I guess I'm customizing both of them, so I just took them out. But you do get the card here for the Flash, which again looks really good with the action figure photography. I like to see that. He comes with one of the regular bases, which I've been using these a lot recently, so happy to have them. He comes with a trigger finger, as Flash should. Said no one ever, but he does come with a fist, and I do like that. I wish he came with two fists instead of a trigger finger hand, but they pop on good. And then he also does come with the foot, like Flash, like the foot lightning effect. So you can plug that into the. Doesn't really work for him, honestly. The foot's too small. It works better on the Rebirth one because of the size of the foot, but you know, whatever. I guess if you want to use that, you can. So yeah, but other than that, they don't really come with anything. So let's go ahead and check the articulation, because I think the articulation works really good on both of them, especially the Superman, which I'll talk about more in a second. So let's go ahead and check that out. Since he's giving me a lot of issues, I'll start with the Flash. His head is really tight, but it does look up. It does look down a little bit. It's not too gappy actually, and he does pivot side to side and rotate 360. It is really tight for some reason. I might just have to loosen it up or whatever, but yeah, the movement is there. The shoulders are going to move outwards that much. They'll move down, rotate 360, get a little bit of rotation in there thanks to that long ball peg. Bicep swivel, single jointed elbow. That moves in, that moves in this far. And then the ball hinge at the wrist, which is really loose on mine, like really loose. So I don't know, just be mindful, I guess. It could just be mine. He'll arc back that far, which is pretty far, and he'll crunch forward that far, which is also pretty far. So I like to see that. He'll pivot. Watch his hips. They are on ball joints, which is a little bit different, but apparently I saw somebody else's review. I forget who it was. Sorry, if I remember, I'll credit them. Where he points out, it was Brad the DC Universe Geek he's a great channel. Please go subscribe to him if you have not already. But he pointed out that they're each ball joints in here. So unlike like where it has like that weird like disc hinge thing and the other ones, they're ball joints. So that's pretty cool. But he's going to pivot like that, rotate at the top and the bottom. Little clicky, but it rotates. So you can get a lot of movement in this torso, which is something I like to see. The hips are going to move out full splits, actually almost higher than splits. So that's pretty cool. A little loose, but nothing too crazy. He'll kick forward that far, back that much. He does have a little bit of a thigh swivel in there. Like to see it. I think that's due to the ball joint though. He's going to kick back his own butt very nicely with the double jointed knees. And then the ankles move up and down and toe hinge and the pivot, yada, yada, yada. So pretty good articulation for old Flash boy here. The ankles are a little bit loose, but I'm not keeping these boots on him, so it doesn't really bother me. So looks good for the articulation for him. You can get him into good running poses. But taking a look at old Big Blue here, his head's going to move up very far. Looks very good. Down, not as much because of his big chin. His head just comes off. I don't know why. And then, you know, you get pivot and rotation. So, yeah, works very good at the head. Going to move upwards that far. Down, rotate, 360. You do get that swivel joint in there because of the, you know, the long ball peg. Bicep swivel, which is really nice. And then great double jointed elbows. Hee. Looks good. And then the ball hinge at the wrist. The fists seem a little bit big, but I kind of like that, to be honest. I like that for Superman. So we'll talk about that more in a minute. But the torso is going to pivot that far, that far. He's going to crunch forward that far, arc back that much, rotate at the top and the bottom, so you get great movement all the way around. I love this torso setup. It works so good. Hips are going to move outwards that far, down. He's going to kick forward that far, back that much. You get a little bit of rotation, not much, but a little bit. Double jointed knees that go that far, and then the ankles are going to move up, down, pivot. You can change the hinge and get like a super pivot. You could do that on the Flash as well, and then a toe hinge. So this articulation is very, very good. But I think the main part of this video is going to be the comparison. So let's go ahead and hop right into that, because his articulation is nice, but I got some work for this guy. So let's go ahead and take a look at the comparison to the Action Comics 1000 Superman. Alright, so getting them all together here, you can see the similarities. The red's almost exactly the same, which is really, really nice. And I like the way that it looks on the Flash here. The animated series Flash is a lot shorter than the DC Rebirth Flash, but they don't use any of the same parts. I didn't think they would, but some people were saying that there might be some reuse between the two. I highly doubted that, considering that he goes all out for the animated series figures, and I'm happy to say that there is no reuse. So looks really good between the two of them. And then on the Superman, you do have reuse of just the head, but that's pretty much it. So now what I want to do is I'm going to run through. He's going to get his own video when I customize him, because he's not staying the Flash at all. A completely different character from a completely different franchise, whatever. Stay tuned for that. But for these two guys here, what I want to do is run through how I'm going to customize them to make my ideal Superman. So I'm going to do it step by step and show you guys what you can do to maybe customize yours a little bit, because this is a great Superman figure, but the arms always bothered me. So getting this, you're probably seeing where I'm going with this. So let's go ahead and run through and see what I would do, and you guys can follow along if you'd like. So the first thing that I did was popped their legs off. I went ahead and, you know, I would recommend heating them up a little bit, but just kind of wedge your whatever in there. It was like something flat, wedge it in there and pop the legs off, and then the undies will slide right off like this. So they should look like this if you want to get to this point. And then it'll become really simple after that. It's just a matter of swapping parts. So I want to put these undies on this Superman with the correct legs, the Action Comics 1000 legs, so the red booted ones. They should just pop on. Again, you might need to fiddle a little bit, but for the most part they should be good. Like that. And then, just so we don't have half of a Superman laying around, I'm I'm going to go ahead and pop the undies on this guy, which it'll just slide in. I don't know if you can see that. It'll just slide in there. It's going to be a little gappy there for him, unfortunately, because they are a different size, but you pop these legs back on. Might not work for him too well, actually, now that I'm looking at it, because this is my first time doing it. Actually, no, it's not too bad. I just gotta finagle it a little bit. Hard to do through a camera, so let me do it off camera and then I'll show you guys when I'm done. So now what I did was switch out the legs and popped them out at the bottom of the knee. I don't know why this is not going in the right way. I gotta fix that, but swapping them out at the lower knee to give them the red boots, and we're about 90% done. Unfortunately, it's not really gonna work to salvage this one, so I'll have to figure out what I want to do with the parts here. But the only other thing that I'm gonna do here is do a quick cape swap. So, I mean, you could probably get some heat, but really doesn't seem like it needs it. You just kind of gotta pry at the cape here. You'll hear a nice little snap, and then just like be careful. You don't want to rip the plastic. You're just trying to tear the glue. So it should look like that. And then you're going to do the same over here. This one might need a little bit of heat. So I'm going to go heat this one up. This one's been giving me issues, so I'm going to go heat this up and come back to you guys after the cape swap. So after literally like 10 minutes of prying this cape off of the Action Comics 1000 Superman, it doesn't fit perfectly because it's a different body mold. So if you want to get the tucked in look that Superman is known for, to have it like that, what you're going to have to do is shave a little bit of the back of the cape off. There's like this lump here because it was like this giant overly sized peg over here, which was making it a pain in the ass. So what I suggest is shaving this down a little bit, just flattening it out so that the cape will hang better. And I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you more about it in a second. So what you're going to do first is shave that down, glue just a little dab of glue here, little dab of glue there, fill in those gaps, and then it should sit relatively very good. So when I go ahead and do that, I'll get right back to you guys. So if you did everything correctly, swapped it out, glued the cape, changed the torso, this is the final product. My ideal Superman. Sure, the calves may look a little bit lackluster compared to the rest of the build, but I'm not a big painter when it comes to customizing. I always try to swap out parts and just try to, utilize what I have instead of trying to make something that isn't there. But this should be the final product. I was able to fix the legs, so they move just fine. Just gotta, articulate them. You have Superman with 2 fists. I like this cape a lot more. My one problem with the Action Comics 1000 Superman originally was the fact that he didn't come with the emblem on the back. So, yeah, maybe I'll get like a water slide decal and see if I can get it on there. But, yep, classic Superman with way better articulation. So now you have the double jointed elbows, 2 fists, this amazing diaphragm joint. There's no like gappage or anything like that. It fits perfectly. The legs look good. Honestly, the calves don't bother me. I think they look fine. The colors matched from the Rebirth one to the Action Comics 1000 one. So I'm just very happy with how this looks. It literally took maybe half an hour to get everything situated, figure it all out, and once I did, it was incredibly worth it in my eyes. I mean, I used to hate Superman, but now I'm a huge Superman fan. I've read a lot of Superman books and really changed my opinion about the character to the fact where he's definitely like in my top 5 superheroes, like characters ever. Like I'm just a really big fan of Superman, but yeah, so this was the final product of that. But let me go ahead and do some final thoughts about the figures in general. So, what do I think about these 2 figures, you may be asking? Well, obviously, this is not what it was when the video started. But, I mean, things happen. And, this is what we have left of the Rebirth Superman. Some parts from the Action Comics one, and then some parts from the Rebirth one. Obviously I'll just put them in the fodder drawer, and you never know what you might need, so I like to hold on to everything just in case. But I got some legs, some thighs, a new red cape, his body, you know, so I might try to piece them together to make a second Superman figure. I definitely have all the parts here for it, but honestly, I don't know if it's completely necessary and worth the effort of doing so, but we'll see. Knowing myself, I don't want just laying around pieces, and if I can make like a second figure out of it, I might as well try, right? But yeah, so anyway, I'm talking about these two. The Rebirth Superman, for what it was beforehand, before I destroyed it, it was a great figure. Honestly, I love that body mold. The only thing that would make it a little bit better is pinless, obviously, but I don't think McFarlane's going to be doing that anytime soon. And I would like if, what was I going to say? A thigh swivel, like an actual thigh swivel. But other than that, it's perfect. So I enjoyed that. If I was to give that figure a rating, I would probably give it a 9 out of 10. 8, 9 out of 10. This Flash figure, even though it's not going to be staying the Flash, I would give it like a 9 out of 10 for what it's supposed to be. It's pretty good. The only thing that's holding me back, and I'm being really nitpicky about it, is what the frig is this? Who wants a trigger finger? Give 2 fists. Especially for the character that I'm trying to make. He does not need a trigger finger. So, whatever. I think it's pretty good. So, I know this was kind of a slapdash video, and I'm not really going to be making an Instagram post about the Flash because, again, I'm not keeping him as the Flash, but I'm going to do a little post about my Superman. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for today. So if you haven't already, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, as I just mentioned it, at Zach Toys. I take a lot of good pictures there, and I'm definitely going to take some awesome pictures of this Superman either tonight or tomorrow. It's a little late at the time of this recording, and I do have that paper to write, my friends. But yeah, very happy with the way that this custom turned out. Let me know what you guys think about it. And also let me know, you coppin? Did I convince you to get this Flash, even though I'm not keeping it as the Flash? Or are you going to try my Superman recipe? Let me know. It'd be really cool if I inspired somebody to do that. This is probably my fourth quote-unquote custom video. I'm definitely going to do a custom video about the Flash, who I'm turning him into. I'm going to keep that a surprise. And I also have 2 other customs that I have not shown on the channel yet that turned out great. I want to fix a little thing before I get them on there, but they will come eventually. But I think that's all I got for today. So at 300 subscribers, we're going to be doing a giveaway. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for the giveaway. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.